am sure you've heard the news. Canadian English isn't just about saying, hey. Let's dive into the quirks, shall we? First off, it's not a beanie, it's a toque. And pop isn't your dad, it's a fizzy drink. Wanna fit in, start saying sorry for everything. In Canada, it's more than an apology, it's a way of life. Now, let's talk about the letter Z. In Canada, it's Z, not Z. So when you're singing the alphabet, don't forget to switch it up. Finally, remember to end your sentences with A. It's the Canadian way to keep conversations friendly and open-ended. So there you have it. Start using these tips and you'll be chatting like a Canuck in no time. Stay tuned for more fun language tips. Catch you later, eh? In this chapter, we'll dive deeper into the unique phrases and idioms that make Canadian English so charming. Stay tuned. Let's start with kerfuffle. Ever heard of it? It's a fun way to describe a commotion or fuss. For example, there was a bit of a kerfuffle at the hockey game last night. Next up, giver. This one is all about effort. If someone tells you to giver, they mean go all out. Put in your full effort. We're almost at the top of the mountain. Just giver. How about Chinook? In Canadian English, a Chinook is a warm wind that blows through the Rockies. It was freezing yesterday, but today a Chinook came through. And it's so much warmer. So there you have it, with these phrases and idioms. You'll not only speak like a local, but also understand the rich, playful nuances of Canadian English. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be impressing everyone with your Canuck charm. Catch you later, eh? Now that we've explored some unique Canadian phrases and idioms, let's see how Canadian English shows up in pop culture. You'll be surprised at how often it pops up in movies, TV shows, and even music. First, let's talk about the classic TV show. This series is a goldmine for Canadian slang and humor. Ever heard the term pitter-patter? It means to get going or hurry up. In the show, you'll often hear, pitter-patter, let's get at her. Next, we have the famous Canadian rock band. Their lyrics are filled with Canadian references and slang. In their song, Bob Cajun, they mention the small town in Ontario, giving listeners a taste of Canadian geography and culture. Let's not forget about the iconic movie. This 1983 comedy is a treasure trove of Canadian English. The characters Bob and Doug McKenzie popularized the phrase, take off, eh? Which means to go away or leave someone alone. It's a must-watch if you want to hear authentic Canadian banter. Finally, in the world of video games, the popular game features a character named Connor who uses the term hoser, a playful insult often used among friends in Canada. So whether you're watching TV, listening to music, or playing video games, keep an ear out for these Canadian phrases. It's a fun way to immerse yourself in the language and culture. Remember, the more you expose yourself to these terms, the more natural they will become in your own speech. Now that we've explored Canadian English in pop culture, let's dive into another fascinating aspect, how Canadian English shows up in food and drink. Believe it or not, some of the most unique and beloved Canadian phrases are tied to what we eat and drink. First up, let's talk about the iconic double-double. If you've ever been to Canada, you've likely heard this term at a Tim Hortons coffee shop. A double-double is a coffee with 2 creams and 2 sugars. It's so ingrained in Canadian culture that it's almost a rite of passage for new visitors. Next, we have Timmy's. This affectionate nickname for Tim Hortons is used by Canadians of all ages. You might hear someone say, let's grab a Timmy's, which means they're heading to their favorite coffee shop for a quick bite or a coffee break. And who could forget poutine? This delicious dish of fries topped with cheese curds and gravy is a staple in Canadian cuisine. The word itself has become synonymous with comfort food in Canada. If you ever hear someone say, I'm craving some poutine, you know they're in the mood for something hearty and satisfying. Another fun term is 2-4. This refers to a case of 24 beers usually bought for parties or gatherings. You might hear someone say, let's grab a 2-4 for the weekend, indicating they're planning to relax and enjoy some drinks with friends. Lastly, let's not overlook the term beaver tails. These are delicious deep-fried pastries shaped like a beaver's tail, often topped with a variety of sweet toppings. If you're ever at a Canadian fair or winter festival, a beaver tail is a must-try treat. So there you have it. Canadian English isn't just about unique phrases and idioms, it's also deeply connected to the food and drink that Canadians love. The next time you find yourself in Canada, be sure to use these terms and enjoy some authentic Canadian cuisine. Now that we've explored how Canadian English permeates pop culture and our favorite foods and drinks, let's take a closer look at how it shows up in everyday life. From the way Canadians greet each other to the unique slang you'll hear on the streets, understanding these nuances will make you feel like a true local. First up, let's talk about the classic Canadian greeting, howdy. While it might sound a bit Western, you'll often hear Canadians use this friendly, informal greeting. It's a great way to break the ice and start a conversation. Next, we have the term toque, pronounced toque. This is the Canadian word for a knit cap, often worn in the winter months. So if someone says, "Don't forget your toque," they're reminding you to bundle up and stay warm. Another everyday term is hydro. In Canada, hydro refers to electricity. So, if you hear someone mention their hydro bill, they're talking about their electricity bill. It's a unique quirk that can sometimes confuse newcomers. Let's not forget the phrase loonie and toonie. These are the colloquial terms for Canada's $1 and $2 coins, respectively. The loonie gets its name from the image of a loon on the coin, while the toonie is simply a playful extension of the loonie's name. So if you're ever in Canada, don't be surprised if someone asks for a loonie or a toonie in change. Lastly, we have the phrase giver. This versatile term means to put in a lot of effort or to go for it. You might hear someone say, "Just give her," when they're encouraging you to try your best or take a risk. There you have it, folks. Canadian English is rich with unique terms and phrases that reflect the country's culture and way of life. Whether you're visiting Canada or just want to impress your Canadian friends, these everyday terms will help you sound like a true Canuck. Now that we've explored how Canadian English permeates everyday life, let's take a look at how it shows up in the workplace. Understanding these terms and phrases will not only help you blend in, but also enhance your professional communication skills. First up, let's talk about the term double-double. In a Canadian workplace, you might hear someone say they're grabbing a double-double from Tim Hortons. This refers to a coffee with 2 creams and 2 sugars. It's a staple in many Canadian offices and a great way to start your day. Next, we have the term chit-chat. While this phrase is used in various English-speaking countries, in Canada, it's particularly common in the workplace. It refers to casual conversation, often used to build rapport with colleagues. So don't be surprised if someone invites you for a quick chit-chat by the water cooler. Another essential term is out for a rip. In a professional setting, this phrase means taking a break or going for a quick drive to clear your head. It's a great way to rejuvenate during a busy workday. You might hear someone say, "I'm going out for a rip, be back in 10." Let's not forget the phrase, "take a rain check." This is a polite way to decline an invitation with the intention of rescheduling. In the workplace, it can be used to postpone meetings or lunch plans. For example, "Can we take a rain check on that meeting? I've got a deadline to meet." Lastly, there's the term brainstorming. While brainstorming is a common practice in many workplaces, Canadians often add a friendly twist to it. You might hear phrases like, "Let's put our heads together and brainstorm some ideas," emphasizing collaboration and teamwork. There you have it, folks. Canadian English in the workplace is all about building rapport, teamwork, and staying motivated. Whether you're working in Canada or collaborating with Canadian colleagues, these terms will help you navigate the professional landscape with ease. If you enjoyed this deeper dive into Canadian English, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment with your favorite Canadian workplace phrase, and don't forget to subscribe for more linguistic adventures. Until next time, keep giving her and stay awesome, eh?